Hello everybody, Glitch Trooper here. I'm back for another bit of Lycanites equipment combos, and you may notice this beautiful thing in my hands. Yeah, it looks like you're just charging in with some creature you're holding that has massive tusks. Uh, kind of the point. I mean, part of it's intimidation, but more than that, this thing's quite functional as a weapon. Because needed to get myself back to first person. There we go. But yeah, it has 3.1 attack speed and 9 attack damage, so that is a considerable weapon. And of course, unlimited durability for anything Lycanites is very useful. Remember to, and as you can see, I got a little modeling going off here, as I often do. Again, I'm always partial to that one, but this time it's also kind of looking good over here in the crystal chest. Whenever I put it in the first position, as that seems to be the only way to get it to do this, but just the fact that you can is amazing, and only displaying one at a time actually kind of works out for the best, because as you can see, I have some of my other designs in here, but it's only displaying the first slot, so it comes in handy to know that. And yeah, again, it's a general problem with Tinker's Construct, that it displays all these as missing texture. So just remember that there will be no displays in Tinker's Construct anytime soon. So two custom equipment systems don't fully agree with each other. So, fun fact. But yeah, to assemble this a beautiful thing, remember about how the forges work in terms of crafting. You'll need a crafting table and a wooden axe to get your lesser equipment forge. Then to that you add a block of iron, and to that you add a diamond block, and you get yourself the master forge, which is the one that is the best overall, period. And now, to go over the kinds of pieces of creatures that you'll be needing of this. Remember, you can theoretically have in a substitute that's craftable, but again, the pieces you actually get from fighting creatures are, in fact, the best for more than one reason, especially the fact they have special abilities, and that's what these combos are all about. Now, the base part here is going to be another Wendigo antler. Now, as you can see, it's one of these that has both a head and a pommel, and in terms of its slots it adds, and that's always cool. And this one will chill creatures a little bit. It adds some slowness to the target. I've always wondered, why does it sometimes seem to add that more than once? I'm not sure if that means it has an extra chance, or if that's just something he's got. I'm gonna have to ask him why that is at some point. I really will. But yeah, that'll be your base part. Wendigos are Arctic type creatures. They'll show up around puddles of ooze and in other frigid climates. So you're basically going to be going pretty much snowy areas for these parts, actually, because this one's specially winter themed. And another part you're going to be needing is, of course, a head part. In this case, you need a warg skull. This is going to be one of the first pikes I've really showed off. And a warg skull will add paralysis to the target. So kind of like I was trying to show before, only possibly better this run, hopefully. It is a pike part only. It doesn't have any particular kind of harvest level or harvest type of its own, because it's mainly a head. None of the heads really do that. So just saying. Now, wargs are usually found in heavily forested areas. This might include taiga type biomes, so, and even if it doesn't, forests tend to be around those. So either way, again, you'll be skimming cold areas. And if it just so happens to show up in one of those taigas, nice. But definitely will show up in forests. So the warg is what you'll be hunting for here. And yes, they might paralyze you, so look out for that move. Now, as for a head part item to add on, is in something that goes onto the head. We have a actual pike part for the first time. The reaver horns. Reavers are, again, heavily found in the cold. They're literally elementals of cold, and their freezing bolts will chill you a bit. Now, this is a pike that doesn't add any kind of weapon property in terms of what it harvests, so it's not really a weapon tool, it is just a weapon. That is what we're going for, is pure weapon. Now, notice this also has a property in common with Geonock Fists, that adds knockback. Now, this knockback is more severe individually, but remember that Geonock Fists usually can be put onto something in pairs in the knockback stacks. So overall, it will have good knockback as a special property, and add slowness. or rather additional slowness. But the thing about it is it will, on the other hand, also be knocking enemies back, so you'll be having a combination of knocking them backwards to slow them down and get time for your weapon to recharge, although it has a pretty quick one this time with that attack speed, and you'll be slowing them down, so it'll be hard for them to escape you as you kind of pummel them from behind. So remember, Reavers are another creature of the cold. Now, as before with my pommels, I do like the Gin Cloud. It's not just because I like it, it's because it's functional, and this one's themed for Arctic-type climates and going around the cold. And in this case, this one also kind of goes up there, because as you go up higher, it gets colder, especially around mountains. And you can, in fact, sometimes find gin at the upper reaches of a mountain, so it'll happen. And that's a pretty good way to kind of keep this going on, is either go sideways to find a cold climate or go up. One of the two. Either way, you'll be finding chilly stuff. And the gin is definitely something you'll be wanting to look out for, is it just likes being in the upper reaches. The effect of this is twofold. It has levitation, and it also will possibly summon a gin, and just being a pommel, that means all that comes on as extra. So let's build up and show what we've got here with the actual construction process, as I like showing up every time. The Wendigo antler goes in first, because his base part always does. It'll light up your two areas for your pommel and your headpiece. So put in the Gin Cloud and put in the Warg Skull. And to finish it off into the perfect pike, we have Reaver Horns. And now we have, dun 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 dun, a nice copy of my pre-created combo. And I called this one Frigid Spikes. I mean, he might put in like a true freezing effect at some point. I don't know. But for now, Frigid Spikes is pretty cool. So, yeah, this one's definitely going in the collection of the ones that's gonna definitely be on my wall. Now, do I have item display, or do I have the? Oh, I think it calls it a display stand. Yeah, there we go. So that's it. So this one's definitely going on my wall. So reminder. Drink. There we go. Now I'm going to be going into combat soon, and I'm trying to think of what would be the best thing to pop around this time. I have kind of went into a few creatures before, so let's well, it would be good if I was in my regular hello. Okay, need to. Okay, that's ready. So what do I want to attack? It's a pretty good question. I might go with something a bit more classic. So I'm gonna go down and possibly go for taking down a witch, because with the levitation effect, I'm gonna kind of juggle them. Or maybe I go for an evoker. Nah, I think I'm going with witch. I'm going with a witch this time, so I'm not going Lycanites mobs, I'm going classic with witch. So let's go with a witch in my survival attack mode. Again, this is nothing but a weapon, so I won't, unlike the other times, I won't be showing off trying to harvest things. But we will showing how effective this is. And remember, from my mob battles, I've revealed more than once that witches are basically elite mobs. And just for that ironic effect, I'll be fighting the witch in a desert. Because this is an Arctic-themed weapon, and I'm fighting in a hot environment. Although, at least it's going to be pretty cool. Now, remember also that just for looks, and also for just coolness, and the fact that it's just how things go with Lycanites mobs, that this one does have a nice animated. Well, it's better in first person. Nice animated look with those horns. So you can see the power of frost going through them. Ah, where's the best spot to put down the witch? I think around here is actually pretty good. So let's do this thing. Oh, are you not getting knocked back? That's weird. I really thought that she would be taking knockback, because it said it has knockback earlier. That's that's very bizarre. Okay, I'm gonna fight something else just to see if I had some weird side effect. Let me see here. I want to fight something that's also often in your way in questing. I'm thinking Vindicator. So Vindicator. Yeah. Let's see how well this goes whenever I fight Johnny, because I do have myself a shield. So yeah, he's paralyzed and floating. Oh, I get it. The knockback kind of supersedes. Because I mean, it's getting superseded is what I mean. Like, it's literally getting overridden by the paralysis first. Like, they're stunned in place before they can even flinch. That is kind of funny. Okay. Unforeseen side effect. They will be pummeled in place and just stuck to the floor and then float up. So, might be a delay. Yeah, I got an idea of something I'd like to do with that. Okay, let's see, because I'm pondering maybe something a little more, abyssal. Not quite that far. I want to do... Actually, that's what I was wanting to do. Nomethal Ghoul. They have a decent amount of health. So let's do an Omethal Ghoul. Yeah, he's pinned in place. Yeah, it just... Oh, he's paralyzed in midair! That's funny! Oh, I could just juggle him like this forever. Okay, this is even more hilarious than I first thought. I mean, seriously, this is unfair from me to them. Oh dear goodness, okay. I just had that combo mostly in my head in terms of how it was constructed, and then there was that moment, that magical moment when I suddenly discovered that I can literally pin them to the sky with that combo. So frigid spikes will literally freeze you to the sky. I might rename this one again just because of that combo. Oh gosh, that is just so hilarious. Okay. Hmm. Okay. What would you even cause that or call that? Freeze frame. Dear. I need a better name than what I was originally coming up with. Frigid Spikes is officially going to get renamed live. Okay. Let me. I mean, it is kind of a use of sky in frozen areas, so. Because I do have a Gin Cloud on it. So, maybe I just call it Skyfrost. Skyfrost, Skyfreeze? Skyfreeze? I mean, maybe Skyfreeze? Skyfrost just kind of has a slightly better ring to it, but at the same time doesn't have quite the impact of what's really going on here, so Skyfreeze. Just discovering that, I have officially reconsidered what I'm calling this one. You are now officially Skyfreeze. So you are now Skyfreeze. Okay, so let's kind of go off with doing this part live, which normally I would not. So, screenshot there for the thumbnail. Perfectly framed, or mostly perfectly. But yeah, I hope you'll enjoy this one, because if you enjoy that magic moment half as good as I did whenever you start pinning an enemy to the sky and then pummeling them in it, yeah, you're gonna have fun with this one. This one is just pure awesome, crazy weapon. So and oh my gosh, just oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Well, anyhow, this has been Glitch Reaper, and I'll be logging off for now. So hope to hear from y'all later, and bye for now, everybody.